Hi guys, I am here with Tanya Rubin of Pure Natural Diva in her extremely high-tech fragrance laboratory, which is actually her kitchen.
My kitchen.
Yes, so Tanya makes the most amazing perfumes. This is Pure Natural Diva.
That's natural.
Natural. There's also Diva and...
There's Pure Natural Diva
and
Elixir.
And Elixir, right. So 4 scents, but they go into perfumes, and also there are bath salts, and she's whipping up a little bit of a scrub, sugar scrub here, and then these amazing candles too, which smell so good.
Body butters, lotion.
Body butter,
and
yes.
we're getting ready to introduce skincare.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
Okay, so
Lots
we're going to
going on
have
in
to
the
come
kitchen.
back to the kitchen. But I wanted to sit down with Tanya because not only has she created this business herself in her kitchen, but also she is really an expert in terms of what makes a natural fragrance, why we need to look for natural fragrances. You guys have heard me go on and on and on about the why, but Tanya's really an expert, so I wanted to sit down with her. And also, she has a great tip to how to formulate your own signature scent, which you can do like in the store without having to buy all of the different scents. You can try it out. So she's going to give us that little tip too today. So Tanya, tell me how Pure Natural Diva started, why, and also why do it natural? Why, it seems to me it would be probably easier and less expensive to do synthetic scents, right? So what's your rationale behind that decision?
Sure. So I started Pure Natural Diva in 2009, and it's a green lifestyle website that's all about similar things that you talk about on Greenest, really. All about detoxing your life and GMO-free living and organics and why we want to do all of those things that we possibly can to be healthier and live better lives. And then about 2 years ago, I started formulating the fragrances and decided that it was time for me to bring those out. And the reason for that was, I know you're very familiar, but some of your listeners may not be. There's about 6,000 to 8,000 chemicals that go into formulating traditional scents.
Right.
And of those 6,000 to 8,000 chemicals, none of them are ever identified or labeled. They're just labeled generically as fragrance. And there's a number that we know are harmful.
Yeah.
There's a number that we have no idea because it's never studied for what happens on the skin. But for example, there is a synthetic musk ingredient that's in 95% of perfumes. It helps extend the life and the wear of a fragrance. It's a known neurotoxin in Japan, and it's banned. It has
So neurotoxin, meaning your brain,
your
right?
brain, just your brain.
Messing up your brain. This is not something you want to
smell
do.
good.
Right.
It's like, that's a pretty high price to smell good, in my opinion, especially when it's not necessary. And the reason that fragrance companies use them is simple. It costs a lot of money to grow fields and fields of roses and orchids, and harvesting the raw organic ingredients is significantly more expensive. So it is often an investment to choose a natural perfume, but you're choosing to forego a huge array of chemicals that have been found in breast milk, that are known hormone disruptors, you're forgoing a lot of toxins here.
I love that your dog also wants to be a part of this conversation.
I was like, let me in.
Yes. So I think, you guys have seen me formulate like my own scents in the past, but usually I'm using like maybe 2 ingredients, maybe 3. These scents have as many as 30, and they're all natural. And if you were to invest in what do you call this? Your fragrance
perfumer's organ.
Perfumer's organ. It would be thousands of dollars, right? Thousands of dollars. So the great thing about sitting down with Tanya is kind of learning about all these different scents, but also knowing that like here's a shortcut to maybe creating your own. So let's look at that. So if we were going to
make a simple blend for yourself.
Right.
And not, before you start investing in any quantity, a good way to find out if the scents work together is to actually take another high-tech device, the paper towel, cut it in
the high-tech lab.
In the high-tech lab, and then use another high-tech instrument called a pen or pencil, and write down exactly what the ingredient that you're going to put in that paper towel is. And you're going to take some of your pungent scents, and you might make 1 drop. So I've scented this with oak moss, which is a very musky, rich dirt-like scent. And then you might take something like your pink grapefruit and put 3 or 5 paper towels in with your grapefruit. Because
so you're going to put 1 drop per towel and then add or delete.
Or more drops than 1 to get a higher concentration.
Okay.
These are things you can play around with. But the great thing about doing it on the paper towel is you're not investing a lot of material.
Right, because they're testers, right? You're in the store, there's a tester, you're allowed to take drops.
Sure.
And then what you're recommending is putting the base note at the bottom of your stack of paper towels,
You
right?
want to just put it in there. You might even, you can vary it. You can play around with those things. What you want to get is start to fan.
And then this is like a really high-tech action too.
Yeah. And so
this is the perfumer's secret right here.
Right
the
here.
fan.
That's what I do. Everyone's different, but I like to fan it, and you'll.
Here, let me smell it. Well, that smells really good.
So you kind of start getting things. You might go, oh, you know, that oak moss is really overpowering. So you can do one of 2 things. You can pull it back, so you're getting less of it, less air is traveling through. And that gives you an idea when you actually go to formulate that you're going to use, obviously, less of the oak moss.
Right.
Because it's more concentrated.
Right.
So then the next step, once you've kind of got this fan wafting to something pretty good, then you're going to go to pen and paper and drops of the actual material. And you're going to have your little vial and you're going to start dropping. And you want to account for every drop.
Okay.
And so you might do 1 drop of oak moss, 5 drops of the pink grapefruit, 1 drop of rose.
And it becomes a formula, right? So if you are doing a larger quantity, it wouldn't be, 1 drop to 2. It would be like 20 drops to 40, but it still retains the same proportion.
You want to stay the same ratio. And you want to do your smallest ratio first because you're just testing it. And even using this method, chances are you're going to throw out 5 batches. So you want to be throwing out 15 drops of
rather
material
than like a
versus 15 mils.
So once you get your formulas down, then you're using what is this? You're mixing it into all of these things. What is this piece of the puzzle?
Sure. Oh, and you know what we didn't talk about before we go into the formulation is most of these are going to come to you neat, and that means they're not diluted with any alcohol or oil. And it's really important that you dilute them in either an oil or an alcohol base because meat on the skin can actually be bad, harmful, and too strong.
You can get like an allergic reaction, right?
Skin reactions and that kind of thing. Even though they are natural, your skin can have sensitivities, in particular to full strength essential oils. So,
good to know. Good
sorry,
to remember.
jump back there.
So we've got our blend.
We've got our blend.
And obviously we're not going to have this at home.
This is a giant block of organic shea butter.
Wow, that's amazing.
And it is what I use to make this whipped body butter so luscious.
I love that.
And it's also on its own, it's pretty good as like a cuticle cream, that kind of thing. Lip balm.
I don't know if you guys can see, but it really is like, it looks like Crisco.
It does. And this has been
bring
processed a little bit to pull out like a really raw from Africa shea butter would be a little yellower and would have some odor. They've like purified it by melting it, pouring off the impurities until it gets to this state. And then, you go in and this is just a super great, but on its own, it's a little too rich. Like it'll just sit on the skin. It's not going to hydrate that much, which is why you want it to blend into
So that's why you whip it up into your amazing whipped
body
butter. I love this stuff. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see, but this is like...
Those are Pacific sea salts. And
a barrel of salt right here.
A barrel of salt. And they are sourced locally from the Pacific Ocean here just north of San Francisco. And what's great about these is molecularly, they're the same as the sea salts that are coming from the Dead Sea and the Mediterranean. Amazing. And they use an ancient process. It takes 5 years for the sun to evaporate and dry out the salts until they are left like this.
Pure and beautiful, and going into your soaks, right?
Bath soaks, yes.
Soaks. Okay.
And then I sent those with Pure Natural Diva and Elixir.
Okay, so this room smells so good. I wish we had smell-o-vision here with all the amazing stuff. But you guys have to check out Pure Natural Diva, and then follow. Tell me the website where you can find the products.
The website for the products is pndbotanicals.com.
Okay, I'm gonna put that. You're gonna see that down there.
And then you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all over the place at Pure Natural Diva.
And awesome. And also follow me at Rachel L. Sarnoff. And you guys, if you follow those 2 Twitter accounts, you're going to be seeing a lot of conversations back and forth because we're always like chattering at each other on social media.
We do that.
Yes, we do. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a comment below. Let me know if you are, you know, what's your favorite scent? Are you thinking about switching away from a synthetic scent to potentially a natural scent? And if so, what's that? If you're making your own, I want to know what your blend is because I'm going to try it out at home. And thanks so much for watching, and I will see you here very soon. Bye.
Bye.